A warning, his report is at times disturbing to watch.
It's a sound no parent likes to hear. A child screaming out of fear and possibly pain from the dentist chair. This cell phone video was secretly recorded by the boy's mother. Going to the dentist is a rite of passage of sorts, but what's alleged to have happened in this office at the hands of 78-year-old Dr. Howard Schneider was not a rite of passage. It is horrifying. For the past 3 weeks, there have been daily protests outside his Jacksonville, Florida practice. One parent so angry she attacked him outside his office. Schneider says he's done nothing wrong. The firestorm started after Brandy Motley wrote about the day she took her 6-year-old daughter Brielle to Dr. Schneider to have one tooth pulled. On the day of surgery in December 2014, Motley says she was not allowed to sit with her daughter.
The nurse suggested that it's best that kids act better when the parents aren't in the room. They said we don't like parents back here for the procedures.
So Motley says she sat in the waiting room for 3 hours until the waiting turned to worrying.
Finally, the nurse came and got me and she said there had been an incident. She was hyperventilating. She had marks all over her and blood all over her.
Angry and unable to get a clear explanation of what happened, Motley says she and Brielle left to rush to an emergency room.
In the parking lot, she takes her gauze out and I noticed all her teeth were gone.
Motley says Dr. Schneider had pulled not one tooth, but 7.
What happened to all of her teeth?
According to Mom, Brielle says Dr. Schneider hit her and choked her, so Mom called police twice. And although department records indicate officers responded, and according to police logs, one wrote a report, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office tells CNN no report was written on this incident. Initially, no attorney would take her case.
So that's when I decided to put her pictures on my Facebook and tell everybody what happened.
Her story went viral, and soon other parents posted their children's pictures and claims of unwanted procedures and abuse at the hands of Dr. Howard Schneider.
I kept reading and reading until the name Dr. Howard, and I knew that was the same dentist.
Amanda Berry is deaf. Her 5-year-old son Dominic is blind in one eye. Berry says Dominic was referred to Dr. Schneider for a crown in March. The boy is part of a civil suit accusing Schneider of assault and battery. According to the complaint, 2 front teeth were removed for unknown reasons, and Dominic was terrified and told stories of the dentist choking him.
Did you cry out? Did you scream out?
Yes, I screamed for my mom.
That's what bothers me the most, because I'm deaf. I can't hear anything. And to know that my child was calling for me and my name and I couldn't help him, it makes me feel like lousy. It makes you feel lousy. Do you know I'm always here for you?
Until now, you're with me. Until the dentist department, the mean dentist department, we were apart, and I was feeling like sad because I wasn't with you.
Every time I look at her, she can't eat.
Brielle's family at one point was part of that same lawsuit, but has since withdrawn.
Absolutely.
They're now pursuing a medical malpractice suit represented by attorney John Phillips. Phillips says he also represents dozens of Dr. Schneider's former patients. Most of them rely on Medicaid for health insurance.
Medicaid paid him per tooth. So can I cap a tooth twice? Yes. Can I then pull it? Yes. Can I then successfully obtain benefits for all 3? Absolutely.
And Dr. Schneider has made a fortune from Medicaid. State records show Schneider has received nearly $4 million in Medicaid reimbursements in just the last 5 years. Now, the Florida Attorney General's office has launched a criminal Medicaid fraud investigation, and the claims stretch back decades. A 1995 malpractice suit was settled out of court. It claimed Dr. Schneider unnecessarily placed 16 crowns in the mouth of a 3-year-old. The boy's family was paid $7,500 as part of the settlement agreement. A second malpractice suit was filed that year, but the documents from that case have been destroyed, and the outcome is unclear.
Somebody who is performing procedures that children don't need, pulling teeth that he knows should still be in the child's mouth. In some cases, we even have where many procedures were done except what they came in for.
Attorney Gus Saris represents Dominic, and he says dozens more of Dr. Schneider's former patients. This month, he filed the potential class action lawsuit against Schneider on behalf of these children, claiming patterns of abuse of his child patients, an accusation that CNN discovered has been made before. According to this 2013 police report, the mother of a 5-year-old patient was allowed to sit with her daughter during a procedure. The mother told police Schneider grabbed her daughter's face and slapped her face several times. The officer acknowledged a small scratch behind the victim's left ear. The alleged offense? Battery. Dr. Schneider denied touching the girl. He was not arrested. Instead, the officer referred the mother to the state attorney's office. Nurses who were in the room later denied that anything inappropriate happened. Prosecutors decided not to file charges because of an improbability of conviction at trial. CNN made no fewer than 5 calls to Dr. Schneider's office to arrange an interview. None was returned. We found him in the parking lot of his office.
What do you think about the allegations?
What do I think about them you don't want to hear?
No, sir, I do, because...
They're not correct. They're not there. I want to be left alone, okay?
Despite the calls to police and the malpractice settlements and the fraud investigation, Dr. Schneider is free to practice. His license is clear. According to the Florida Board of Dentistry, he's not been disciplined by the state. And for these parents, that's unacceptable. They want more.
Go to jail.
To never work on any other kids again. He never do that again.